Hello and welcome back to TechnoSearch in YouTube channel. So the motherboard market is looking bad as the flagship boards are selling at entry level pricing. So we have save up to 57% of premium motherboard design while RAM prices surge. So it's literally bad because as you can see, the Intel ASRock Z890 Taichi was $460, but now it is selling for just $200 at New Egg. So literally the PC market is looking pretty bad overall because the RAM prices are soaring, but the motherboard and various other things prices are going down, and that's not by small amount, it's a huge margin by which they are going down. So it's looking pretty bad, and it's all because of AI and stuff like that. But yeah, speaking of AI, the the person says that the AI in games has an impact on sales, which is indeed true, as games made with AI, Gen AI, suffers up to 53% worse sale on Steam. Steam chart came out, and Steam has made it mandatory if you have any AI assets or anything else, you should notify that it is generated by AI. And the analysis from Steam shows that when it has generative AI tag on a game, it sells almost 53% less compared to what it should be selling. Like if you want to sell a game which sells like 100 copies, if you have a tag of generative AI, you are just selling 47 copies, which is a significant increase or significant decrease in revenue at this current point of time. So people are not buying Gen AI games, and it is true because Gen AI games are literally like not good. They are just like flipped assets all the time, and there's no real gameplay. It's just something which is happening on the screen when you press a button. It's not even interactive, and it's not even fun at all. Like, yeah, you can use generative AI in games, but to speed up the process, but artistry and everything else should be done by people only. And if Gen AI does it, it will be not so good, as we can see. Along with it, we knew that the Steam machine has already been launched, and it has launched for $1,049, which is significantly expensive. And you don't get a controller, you just get a box with 512 gigs, which is also significantly expensive. But Valve will finally let you build your own Steam machine with SteamOS for desktop. Apart from that, if you want a controller and everything else, you need to shove $1,200. But judging by it, Valve will make its SteamOS available for desktop. So if you don't want to run Windows, you can just use the SteamOS alternative on your PC, and then you will have a SteamOS running. Yeah, like you can play Steam games based on Proton, which is a Linux. So you have Linux running in the background. At the same time, you have Proton running on your system, so you can literally game on it. Along with it, as you can see on the screen here, 1 in 5 game released in 2025 already uses generative AI, up nearly 700 times year on year. 7,818 titles disclose Gen AI asset usage, 7% of the entire Steam library. So generative AI is literally not going anywhere. On top of that, it's literally increasing year on year, but at the same time, we have that issue where the games are selling less, because if you flood the market with generative AI games and generative AI tags, people will not do it. So it is to be seen what happens, but nearly 7% of the entire Steam library is made from generative AI games, and it has increased upward of 700%. So yeah, it's pretty much more compared to last year's. Like 700% is not a small amount. Along with it, Tim Sweeney, which is from Epic, came out on the future of games and AI, and whether Valve will ever join forces with Epic. It's now clear that nobody going to end up with an absolute monopoly. Like last week at Unreal Engine Fest, basically at Unreal Fest in Chicago last week, Epic unveiled its master plan for Unreal Engine 6, and after this keynote, people were able there was things which has been handed out across the digital ocean vision, and the Epic CEO Tim Sweeney spoke about it and the interview. During the interview, he said something interesting, like the benefits of players. Let's start with social. It's lot more broken than most people realize. Basically, they are finding a situation that works fine, and generative AI is not going anywhere. But at the same time, if you are using generative AI, so essentially the CEO team Sweeney is like saying they are going to make massive changes to the infrastructure along with it, to the Epic Game Store and the models of working, because it is not working at this point of time pretty good. Along with it, he says like generative AI is not going anywhere, but at the same time the artistry and everything else is also not going anywhere. So if you want games which looks well and good, you will use artists and programmers and everything else. The only thing generative AI will do is make the development pipeline faster, which is an improvement. Like there are AI agents which can do it. And lastly for today, we have news regarding FSR upscaler on RDNA 3, which has been tested on RX 7000 versus FSR 3.1 and versus FSR 4.1. And as you can see on the screen here, with FSR 4.1 on performance, if you are getting 100%, the same is not true for 7900 XT. At performance, you are getting like 17% drop. You are getting like 7% drop, 79% drop in performance, and in quality essentially you are getting upwards of also 7% drop. But at the same time, if you consider the same thing with RDNA, like RDNA 3, like not RDNA but FSR 3.1, you are in performance you are getting like improvement, and it was tested on 7900 XTX. As you can see, if we say FSR 4.1 in performance on RX 9070 XT, if we take it at 100%, you are getting drop for FSR 4.1 on RX 7900 XTX upwards of 9%, while in FSR 3.1 in performance mode you are getting 6% uplift. The same goes with in quality. For if we keep like 100% for 9070 XT at FSR 4.1 quality setting, then in RX 7900 XTX in quality we are getting a drop of 7%, while the same if we use FSR 3.1, you are getting 4% improvement in quality. So overall it's a case, because FSR 4 or 4.1 is based on FP8 compute, but since RDNA 3 doesn't support FP8, it supports int8, there is lots more computation which is going on in the background. That's why we are seeing this massive difference, that like 6 to 7%. It's not that massive, it's like 6 frames up and down. But at the same time, if you want more performance, you should just use FSR 3.1 on your RDNA 3. But if you want like better quality and you can take hits in FPS games, or like in FPS in some games, then you should definitely go with FSR 4.1 on RX 7000 series. But yeah, along with it, if we think about in case of 7600, which is the low end card, in quality mode you are getting downgrade of 7%, while in performance mode you are getting downgrade of 9%. So 9 to 7% downgrade is there when you compare it from FSR 3.1 to FSR 4.1. But yeah, that's it from me today. What do you think about the new sound? Of your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'll meet you in the next one. Peace out.